Yo YouTube, what up? So today's tutorial is about putting foundation on, covering blemishes, but letting your freckles show through. This tutorial is going to be really helpful for anybody that has freckles and wants to be able to cover up any blemishes, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy, that guy. This video also is beneficial to anybody who is becoming a makeup artist. Sometimes you will get a client that wants coverage but still wants their freckles to show. So this will be a really great tutorial for that. Let's jump into it. All right, our first step is priming. So I'm gonna use this color corrector from LA Girl Cosmetics. It is yellow. Go ahead and apply this product all over my face and press it in. This stuff's really great too if you just want to throw it on by itself and neutralize anything. It didn't make my face yellow, it just made it look a little bit more even. Our next step is going to be spot treatment with the color correcting palette. So I'm just gonna use this little flat concealer brush. I'm gonna first start off by covering the discoloration under my eyes, and I'm gonna use this peach tone. What's important is to use the color corrector in small amounts and just kind of focus it in the places you truly need it. So instead of like taking this guy and pushing it all the way out to cover my freckles, I'm just kind of keeping it where there's some discoloration. And then using my finger to blend it in. I prefer using fingers just because they have warmth and then it melts down the product. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so see how I already have some brightness going on underneath here, but you could still see my freckles? You know, we're heading there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the other side. Next, I'm gonna use this yellow to neutralize the blemishes I have, the redness. I just dipped in my brush, and yes, I'm using the same brush. And so I'm gonna go ahead and find all my red spots. And remember, you know, small amounts, and we're gonna use our fingers to blend it out. Now that we've got our color correcting out of the way, let's go ahead and cover up what we used to color correct with concealer. So textures have a lot to do with how well products stay on your face. So the color corrector I used is cream based. So I'm gonna wanna use a liquid based concealer. This guy is from NARS, Radiant Cream Concealer. This guy is really good to cover up blemishes and use under the eye. So let's start off with this guy. And same method, same process. You just wanna apply and pat to blend in. And then I wanna brighten on the eyes a little bit, so I'm just gonna take a small amount of that product and do what we did with the color corrector, where we just keep it in the inner corner. And you're gonna go ahead and blend down into a triangle, but try not to cover up any freckles. But if you so happen to do, I will show you how to get them back. I got the blemishes that I wanted to covered up. So now this is where we talk about foundation. So this is the foundation that we're gonna use today. I just used the word foundation, but what I really mean is BB cream. So this is the Airy Ink Cushion from Peri Para. It is not quite a foundation, not quite a BB cream. It's kind of like a hybrid. It's got really light coverage, but it's buildable. Unfortunately, it only comes in like 2 or 3 colors, but it kind of blends into your skin nicely. Today, we're gonna use a foundation brush. This kind isn't the flat kind. It's more of a buffing type. I like to kind of just start grabbing the product by dabbing it and then applying it the same way onto my face. And right now, I'm just gonna focus on the spots that I need to cover up to even out more. Using these buffing motions is really helpful for blending in the product and shearing it out. So I just kind of like to do little circular motions. You can see on my face. So it looks like I put a little too much here. So I'm gonna blend it out. I wanna get my freckles back. I just wanna set with translucent, not colorless, but translucent powder underneath the eyes. Also, I wanna go ahead and take more of this powder, and I wanna make sure I press it into my blemishes where we covered them up to make sure that the foundation doesn't budge. I like highlight a lot. but sometimes highlight powder ones at least can leave a little bit of some kind of sheen that almost covers the freckles. I have a personal product that I really like to use. It's the What's Up from Benefit. What I like to do is just kind of apply it on the sides here, nose. Now that we got that on, I'm just gonna take the same foundation brush I had and blend it out. So the reason why I like this product is that it gives you a really beautiful shine, but it's not covering up my freckles. So now let's set the rest of the face. Instead of translucent, I am gonna use colorless powder this time. And the reason why is because translucent still has a bit of a tinge. That's why if you spill it on your clothes and try to wipe it off, you get like that white stain. This guy, if you spill it on your clothes and wipe it off, can't see it anymore because it's invisible. You want to be really careful with a product like this. It will give you some gnarly flashbacks. So I just kind of put a little bit of the product in here, swirl it around, and then pat everywhere. Try to avoid where your highlight is, just because you don't want to get rid of that shine. So we have our colorless powder on. Before I go into like blush or anything like that, I do like to set. Ooh, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. This is the Fix and Go Stay Matte from Rimmel. Refreshing, it smells like cucumbers. I've got 2 brushes, one for bronzer, one for blush. I got 2 brushes for 2 cheeks. So I'm gonna start off with our bronzer. I've got this Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze in the Fair to Light shade. This guy is cute because it's got a nice satin finish to it. My rule of thumb for bronze, you got 3 on your face. Apply your bronzer like a 3. And just do it the same way over and over again. And then on my forehead, I just kind of like to go for it. Even though my hair covers it, a little contour on the forehead can't hurt, right? You want to go underneath the jaw, not on top. Just take your bronzer there. So next I'm gonna put some blush on, and this is gonna be my finishing touch. This is from Lovecraft Beauty. I got it in one of my Ipsy bags. More natural, more matte, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put them on the apples of my cheeks. You wanna keep your blush at least 2 fingers away from your nose. Otherwise it will drag down your face. Cool, so now I am done. I am happy with how it turned out. My skin still looks like my skin. I can still see my freckles, and I feel beautiful. I've got one more thing that I wanna show you guys, and it's how to bring back your freckles just in case you covered them up. I've got 3 methods for you. One includes a brow pencil. The other one includes using a shadow and a brush. And the last one, which is kind of the easiest and the most fun to use, is a product called Freck. It literally is just freckles in a bottle. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna hold my pencil all the way at the bottom here. I'm gonna go where there's a freckle, right? And I'm just gonna lean into it. You don't wanna like poke because it's gonna be super fake looking. You just wanna lean into it. Ugh. Method number 2 is my least favorite, but it works out for some people. So I am gonna take this is kind of getting old, my Smashbox contour palette, and I am gonna go for this cooler tone. And I'm gonna tap the tip of the brush inside that, and I'm just gonna do the same thing I did with the pencil, just slightly lean into the pencil brush. So now I'm getting more of my freckles back, which is awesome. Oh, forgot to put that part there. So this guy has this little brush, and we're gonna do that same method that we were doing with all of our other product. When I get the product on here, I am gonna wipe some of it off because this stuff can get insane really fast. And then now I'm just gonna lean into it, lean with it, rock with it. And don't worry if it looks like brown at first, you just gotta let it dry. I think I might just start adding freckles to my freckles. All right, I've got all this on. Now I just want to take my finger and lightly tap the spots that we put our freck on so it softens it up. And then the last step, as always, just take your brush to soften everything out. And there we have it. I've got freckles, I've got my natural ones, I added some fake ones, and now I can go about my day. All right, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Good luck out there. Also, if you have any suggestions of what kind of tutorials you want to see next, let me know because I can't read your mind and I would love to help you. All right, guys,